We are stuck at the first verse of this text. This text helps us to understand the delusion, understand the misidentification, and understand the impurity of the mind, so that after recognition, if we remove that, the life is going to change. That is what. Now, first we will see the verse and then we will go little deeper what I have been talking in the last 5 or 6 sessions about ego. So the first line of the verse means that you change the direction of the mind. Turn your mind to the real self. Now there are 2 points here. When I turn my mind to the real self, only when I understand the way I am living, that is living in the false I. But if I don't take it, the way I am living with my ego, delusion, reaction, and blame is the false I can never turn my mind. So there the master says what? In the second line of the verse, the master, first line of the verse, turn your mind to the real self. How? By recognition, by understanding, by knowledge, by practice. Then the second line of the verse, the master says, you fail to turn your mind to the real self. It means you have taken the false I as a real one. And okay, you have taken the real one, so you are frustrated, you have a blame, complaint, and reaction. It means you are already living with the false I, which you claim as the real I. So now what happens? When you claim the false I as the real I, the master says, oh foolish mind. Master says in the second line that foolishness is there with us. Foolishness in our thought, in our speech, in our action. And in the third and the fourth line, the master uses a metaphor. How long you will be working in the mental loop. What is mental loop? And I don't see you. Mental loop means that today I blame you, tomorrow I blame the second person, day after I blame the third one, I react to one, I react to the second, I react to the third. I get frustrated because of you, I get frustrated because of him, I get frustrated because of the other. So that pattern in the mind continuing. How many years? As long as we are living, we are 50 years. In 50 years we are continuing. Is it not a foolishness of the mind? Why I don't realize that this foolishness must stop? Because I claim that foolishness is wisdom. That foolishness is a wise decision. That is our ego. So the master says, master makes a sarcastic remark. Sarcastic why? So that it should hurt the person who is listening. Why it should hurt? So that I should change. What I have been repeating the same thing again and again. Same blame, same complaint, same reaction, same level of anxiety, same frustration. How many times I was frustrated because of the money? And why I still continue to get frustrated? Because I find the money contains the property of happiness. So what is that money contains the property of happiness? It is the foolishness of the mind. That is why the mind master is saying, change the direction of the mind, turn your mind to the real self. That is the verse. That is the verse we have been studying. Then I got a break to make you understand what is this foolishness of the mind. So the Master repeats again and again, turn your mind to the real self, turn your mind to the real self. And still we are not listening. Why we are not listening? Because I know this is the real world outside. What is that real world of anxiety, of frustration, of duality? And I want to get rid of the anxiety, but I don't want to remove the blame and complaint game. I want to react, but still at the same time with that reaction I want a peace and happiness. Now you think yourself, is it not foolishness? If it is not foolishness, let's continue. And that is why we go, I'm very relaxed and calm in a practice. After that, mind returns to the same thing. Because why? That understanding is gone. Why that understanding is gone? Because of the foolish mind. This is what the Master is saying in the verse. I'm not saying. For me, you all are genius, number one. Even greater genius than Einstein. I have no problem. Master is saying, I'm not saying it. Why should I say? You will start blaming and complaining. I avoid that. So you see, this is what the Master is saying. So it means these talks are based on, I have to understand it. I have to understand. I have to look myself into the mirror. How many times I blamed and complained and reacted and went into anxiety. Just think for a while. I got upset with someone. Again, upset is the same. Upset is the same. Person is different. Situation is different. Event is different. But getting upset is same. So who gets upset? Mind. Where you get upset? Inside you. It drains your energy. It makes you tired and fatigued. And still I'm doing it. No, that guy, I got upset because of his nature. What is that funny rationalization? You got upset because that guy is crazy. Let him be crazy. I don't want to do it. That to become a seeker of the Eastern wisdom is a daring, very daring work. Very daring work. So what happens? The mind, the ego strips the wisdom from the intellect. Ego prevents you to think, contemplate, and reflect. So there is an intellectual paralysis, and that intellectual paralysis means the foolish mind. Mind consoles you deep inside. I got upset because of his responsibility. So for the time being, you get relaxed. Now the second situation comes, the second person comes. Mind has already taken for granted that I have a right to get upset. Be upset, react and blame. Destroy your life. This is what the Master is saying. But not only that, the Master is saying such a beautiful, if I contemplate how many times I was upset in my life, from one person has changed, situation has changed, a relationship has changed, but my upset remained intact. Reaction remained intact. Blame, complaint, game continues. This is what the Master is saying. Nahi nahi rukchati dukrun. We are repeating the same thing. That repetition of the false I and its thought, speech, and action is mental looping. Mental looping. You have a pet, your cat, and there is a hamster wheel. You put the cat and run this. Endless looping. Mind has an endless looping of blame, complaint, upset. And still I don't want to understand. It is not that I don't want to understand. It is my ego has forced me into the ignorance. We are talking of this ego. We are not talking of ego that you became arrogant. No. These are simple things in modern psychology. We are talking of the Eastern wisdom. We have to think of it. Master says, I don't know the real self. Let me understand it. Master says in a simple three-step process. I don't understand. I don't know. Let me know it. But when knowing, I have to have an active listening. I should accept the teaching of the Eastern wisdom. How? Until I practice and able to change my behavior and attitude. Then you have an experience. So it is a belief pending inquiry. You believe that here is a false I, here is a real I. Believe. So then the second step comes, I don't understand, let me understand it. So I don't understand. So the teacher is here to make you understand. So when you understand, it is a process of contemplation and reflection. And then the third step, I don't experience, practice and experience. So if I follow all the three, then the fourth corollary comes on its own. How many times I was in anxiety, duality, and a conflict today? Let me sit down, contemplate, and reflect, and see that if my mind is blaming others, giving responsibility to the situation and event, let my mind turn inside me, change the direction of the mind. I should reflect every day. Then only it will change. When I reflect, and then the life continues to change. If I don't reflect, the mental projection continues, the mind projection trap. I discussed about this projection trap again and again. I see you, for example. Seeing is just a perception. It's a baseline. What is perception? Perception is understanding. What is understanding? It is a knowledge. So I know you are Sophie, John, Mead, and I. And I don't see you. So, yes. So I see you. It's a normal perception. So the foolish mind comes from the background. Eyes are the same. I see you. That foolish mind says, I like Sophie or John. I don't like me, for example. Now, so there is a likes and dislike trigger. And that like and dislike trigger changes my perception. You no longer remain Sophie and John. You no longer remain me. So it is the problem. I started the problem? My perception. So I have a perception with projection. And perception with the projection has changed the quality of the object I am seeing or quality of a person I am seeing in my mind. Outside there is no change. And the mind continues to think about it, and that thinking after the likes and dislikes, what we say is attachment. When I'm thinking, I'm sticking to it. My mind keeps on repeating, I have seen that car is very good. How many days? A week ago. I feel the impression of the car. So first that thought, behind that there is a like and dislike, and then there is an attachment. So that attachment coming from the projected perception. So now the quality of nature of the person or object outside has changed in my mind. It did not change outside. So when it changed, why it changed its side? Because of the false perception. What is false perception? Because of like and dislikes and attachment and clinging. So that object or a person becomes a poisonous or a pleasurable object, and then the journey of begins in my mind of blame and complaint and attachment and detachment, and it continues. That is what happens, when we were young, and I say, I got attracted to this girl, he or she is my soulmate, and then you lie down on the bed and you start imagining that person is with you, lying on the bed beside you, and you are in love, but there is nothing. That kind of projection takes place every day. Ego hides it. Ego says, no, that is the reality. Ego does not ask you to think. So that is why the husband in the beginning is wonderful. Later on it becomes bad because it is my mind. 99% 9% it is my mind. So once that object is object turns into an object of pain and the pleasure, so there the object or a person is an object of pain because that person is living with me, near me. That object or person also becomes an object of pleasure because why is the object of pleasure? Because of my attachment. There is no other reason. There is no other reason. So if my mind escapes from, if my mind thinks that that guy is distant from me, which I like, it gives me pain. Another person is near me, but I dislike, so it gives me pain. In both the cases, that pain is expressed in the form of anxiety, reaction, blame, and complaint game, and then it continues from one situation to the other, one event to the other, and the life continues in that way. That is what the master is saying. This is entire process of foolish mind. So what we learnt in the first verse, first line, change just to recognize that there is a real self in you. You recognize that real self is of the nature of peace and happiness. Why? So that whenever you are into anxiety, you recognize it is falsehood. What a big deal in understanding such a simple truth. It's a big truth. It's a big deal. Why it's a big deal? Now I'm using the word deal, Deal is from our president. I'll make a deal. You want to make a deal to your mind, and that causes the problem. And then, like a hamster wheel every day. I feel very good, relaxed, doing practice of meditation. Who doesn't feel? 99% of the people feel relaxation. But then what happens after? I become the same person throughout the week. What is the fun of it? It means my mind, but still I live in delusion. Master, according to the master, my foolish mind is considered as a wise mind. I have more time to think about others if I blame, complain, reaction, and anxiety. I can bet you. Those people who suffer from anxiety, reaction, blame, complaint, they have more time to think about others than yourself. So the master is saying, recognize your real self. Nowhere in modern science has this principle. It triggers my mind that, okay, if I go into anxiety, that is my false side. Answer is big yes. Because I have wrongly identified with certain thought, speech, and action, which I claim as mine, is causing me the anxiety, obviously it has to be false I, because I am a seeker of happiness. How come my thought, speech, and action results into stress and suffering? I don't think about it. Why I don't have time? So I have more time to move the mind into the foolishness. So recognize your real self, and then we should acknowledge. If you don't want to say, I'm sorry, because according to the teacher is saying foolishness. I'm not saying. You all are wise. So even if I can analyze and acknowledge negativity in me, negativity in thought, speech, and action, I'm not ready to do it. Why? Mind is overwhelmed. Ah, you are wrong. I'm right. I'm not ready to acknowledge negativity in me, frustration in me, expectations in me. I don't want to acknowledge. So you don't want to acknowledge, you are already being played by the mind or the ego. That is what the master is saying. So the master is saying the first time you listen to these principles, yeah, it takes few weeks or few months that seeker forgets it, but it has been now more than 3 years, and then one day you will start blaming me. Nothing happened, you keep your principles with you. Yes, I'm ready to do that. There is no problem. I'm ready. So that is seeker number one. Then the seeker number one is driven by the ego-driven ideas, ego-driven thought. Oh, what you are saying is philosophy. I know what I have to do. You have to do? I have to live in stress and suffering. I have to blame others. Only in the third stage of a seeker, I become conscious seeker. What is conscious seeker? Conscious seeker lives in the presence. Why it lives in the presence? What it means by the presence? I notice and observe the thought, feeling, and emotions that is passing on to my mind about others. The moment it is an element of blame, complaint, reaction, let me drop it. You drop it and tell me, where is the anxiety? Where is the reaction? The first time you start understanding what is the power of being a seeker. And when that power inside, what is that power? Power lies in the intellect, or it is in the mind. When that power, you invoke that power in the intellect and you tell the mind, I notice these thoughts are going on, which will lead me to blame, complaint, reaction, and anxiety. It has been happening for years together. Let me drop it. No, but that guy is so wrong. Let the guy be so wrong. Let me calm down. I have to think and understand. So when you think and understand, that is the meaning of presence. That is what the self-awareness practically. Otherwise, philosophical views. Yes, I'm aware. Have you not heard people saying, live in a moment? Live in mindfulness. How can you live in mindfulness? So your living in mindfulness is full of blame and complaint. It is not so easy. You have heard, third or fourth person is talking near you. Oh, yeah, it's all, you can do it. You live in a present moment. You are burning inside and you are living in a present moment. That is not the meaning of Buddha. That is not the meaning of Eastern wisdom. That is not the meaning of Eastern wisdom. So, that is what, that is what the master is saying. So daily analysis, listening and learning that are required. After the session, I have to listen to it again. I should frame, write down in my mind or outside the notes. I have to check in what way I can take over the mind. These are the points there, and when you start working on that, the life changes. Close your eyes. Eyes are closed. Preparatory step. Preparatory stage is place, people, and posture. So the place, position, and posture of the body. So the place of the body, you are aware, you notice, you observe, understand. I'm saying the same thing which I discussed. So with eyes closed, you have a presence. Presence means you notice. It means you observe. What you observe? What is going on in my mind, not others' mind. Normally we start thinking and projecting what should be going on in others' mind. That is the height of the ego. It becomes even 10 years for people not to change. So you feel, you experience the place of the body, you experience the position and the posture. So it is not mechanical and habitual. You should feel, here is the shape of the body, that is the place, that is the position and posture. You should feel. By understanding, you should feel. In this stage, we move to second step. Now you see what we discussed, the change of direction of the mind. Change of direction of the mind. So I made it very simple, which perhaps it becomes difficult to understand. So what I made it simple way? Simple way is that you look at the neck joint, and then I said you feel, you know, you understand if I use the word, and you experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness. What it means in another way, you are looking inside, not outside. So we already know what is outside. Outside is the world, and then world of people. So whenever these thoughts and feelings are coming to your mind, you simply change the direction and start looking inside. Is it so difficult? Looking inside, maybe into the space, maybe into the blankness. Is it so difficult? Yes, it is very difficult in case of either we say foolish mind or ego. And you cannot say it is so simple. Why? Because simple means that you have to do something. Here you have to not to do something. Here we do nothing. It is like I'm looking at Sophie, now I'm looking at me. That is the change of direction. But again, the ego makes it very difficult. it starts questioning. And I'm ready, I have been ready to answer. Being comfortable. So now, again in the end, look at the whole body. When you look at the whole body, you are aware, you notice the skin of the body. By the skin of the body, you are aware of the shape. By the skin, you are aware of the shape. No issue, you look at everything rationally. Okay, so I'm looking at the skin. So the moment you look at the skin of the entire body, from the top to the toes, what happens? You look, you feel, you understand, and you experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness. It is done. So the change of direction discovers the comfort in you. Comfort in you. And even if we do not understand it, and we are willing to understand, 2 points. We are willing to understand, the means that I have to repeat it again and again and again and again until the change takes place. So from the second step, we are moving to the third one. Where is the third one? Third one is being carefree. Now being carefree starts dropping the foolishness of the mind. Why the foolishness? Why it is there? Because of clinging. Why clinging is there? Clinging is there. Why clinging is there? Because of identification. What is this identification? Because of attachment. What is attachment? I feel I and soulmate, for example, I and soulmate are one. You feel, your feeling is delusion. There are two people. Two people will remain two. That we miss. How can you say that? Yes, we are understanding. You see the traffic jam. If no highway, no traffic jam. No traffic jam. Do you understand that? So it means the traffic plus highway are two things. I will make it more simple. Bulb plus electricity is equal to light, and this light is perception. This light is knowledge. This light is thought. This light is feeling. So it means feeling, thought, light, perception. Feeling, thought is equal to what? Is equal to mind is an instrument like the bulb. Plus, there is a space behind the thought feeling. Like there is a highway behind the traffic, there is a sky behind the birds. No, question is what to do. Do nothing. You just notice. You just notice what? Here is a thought, and here I am. I am that space, because that space recognizes. You recognize the thought. You recognize thought in the feeling. It means you are different and separate. You are different and separate from the thought and the feeling. So, what the Eastern wisdom has done, I know a thought is in the mind. So, what the Eastern wisdom has done, that I know is the knower, and what I know is the thought. So, are two things. Traffic and the highway are two things. So, what the master is saying, traffic is constantly changing, the highway does not change. You can very well see the highway in the midnight, no traffic, but doesn't mean the highway was not there. So that traffic jam is the foolishness of the mind, because I claim I am the traffic. No, but what to do? Mind again demands, you tell me what. You just notice thought is coming, and it occurs on the space of the mind. The space does not change. Feeling occurs and the space of the mind occur. On the space of the mind, the space does not change, like highway does not change, like the sky does not change, even if millions of birds are flying. Because the mind, foolish mind, messes this. It says that everything is one. So a repeat practice is required again and again. The repeat contemplation is required. Repeat, and that changes your perception. That is so we have done in the stage 1 the 3 steps: place, position, and posture, and being comfortable, and then we are carefree. And the stage 2 is moving within, living within. I told you in the verse, the first line of the verse, that change the direction of mind. Turn your mind to the real self. Don't turn your mind to the false self. I don't know the real self, so I have to look at what is the false side. I have to, so how? You check again the place, position, and posture. Check that you are aware of it. Check the second point, you are comfortable. Experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Third point, check you are carefree. What is doing? I'm not my thought. Any thought enters into your mind, I'm not my thought. Highway is not the track. Highway is neither my car, your car. Highway is separate. Or electricity and the bulb are separate. Same way, thought and the space are separate. And the fourth point, what is fourth point? Casually you look, feel, and know the skin of your head, and then you look inside. When you look inside, you find there is a space. We are settling the mind deep within. Mind doesn't want to settle inside. Why? Because we have made it a habit to move outside in terms of the thought and the feeling. So your mind looks at the skin of the forehead, then it looks inside. You become aware of the space or blankness and emptiness. And then the next second, the mind leaves that and it engages itself into a thought. And you say, the thought is distracting me. Thought is not distracting. I want to be distracted. The thought has come. Let it has come. Thank you, thought. You have come, but I am not the thought, and you look again inside the forehead. Is it possible in one go? No. If we do it with understanding, we repeat it, we can succeed. So when you are looking into the space, So when you look into the space, uh, in the state of sensation, comfort, and steadiness, now you have found the two. In the beginning, oh, the bulb gives the light. No, electricity plus the bulb gives the light. That is, you know what it means? What is the meaning of settling? It is active phase, meaning of settling the mind inside. I told you the electricity and the bulb are two that gives light. So I would say that space plus mind give rise to the thoughts and the feeling. I'm comparing. I'm making it still simpler for you to understand. But what the understanding will do if I don't work on it? But anyhow, here, so now anytime the thought comes, you recognize the space also. So means what? Means what? That is the meaning of paying attention. Paying attention to the space instead of a thought. You already know thought and the feeling are there. So what happens? Separation. What happens? The separation. Like the electricity and the bulb are already separate. We know at the physical level. So when you are paying attention to the space, not to the thoughts and feeling, what happens? Simply emptiness remains. Can it happen in a day when you do it with understanding? Every time you progress, that is another way to. But because in the beginning the mind is not able to engage itself for a longer period into the space, so either just look at the flow of the breath. So we use the flow of the breath. We look at the flow of the breath. So now we see the changing. Change. Breath is changing. Breath goes in and out. It is a change. Change. So can my mind follow the breath movement inside and outside without the interference of influx of the thought? Thought may be there. So when that happens, you just look at the flow of the breath, moving in and out, moving in and out. You feel the sensation of the breath. So what we are doing, that we are asking the mind to engage itself in all the facets of the breath. What are all the facets of the breath? The breath goes in and out. Second facet, I feel the sensation of the breath going in and out. I don't change the rate and the rhythm of the breath. And when the breath goes in, I drop non-verbally into my mind in one. Breath comes out one, into out. If you believe wrongly that Om has to do with the release, then don't do Om. Don't do Om Shanti. Just count the breath. So in between we miss the breath. Why? We forget it. Why? We forget because of foolishness of the mind. What is that foolishness? a repetitive thought returns and it causes the distraction and I forget. So, okay, you forget while listening to me, you remember? Yes, I remember. Go back to the breath. So, we need not to be discouraged. I have to work on it clearly. If I work on it clearly, then only it really makes you a seeker. If you don't, yes, what should I say? So when you change, what is that is our, so when you continue to return to the counting, maybe 1 to 25, and once you reach to 25, then you do the reverse counting. My master used to say, and I completely agree with that, that even if you are able to complete 1 to 25, that takes 2 minutes. Normally, 2 minutes of consistent attention on the incoming and the outgoing breath will give you 6 hours of peace and calm. It is damn difficult to continue to pay attention. Mind distracts, and then what happens? It is distracted, so it becomes a play. Ah, I forget, so let me return again. That returning again and again consciously is making you a third type of the seeker, which I discussed. First type of the seeker, distraction is there and you forget and you are enjoying the fantasy. Second type, the ego says, I understand, but you don't experience. Third type, the seeker, you say, forget about understanding. I am paying attention. Our consistent attention is on the counting of the breath. That's another format, another way to look into it. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both your palms, place it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences. Bring the hands down. So, how are you, Sophie? And I don't see you. Yes, Sophie.
Yes, Girish, I know at some point I didn't hear you anymore, but I was focusing on my breath and I didn't have any. Well, I didn't have thoughts wondering whether if you do Om Shanti or if you count, if it's the same or not.
Yes.
I kept doing Shanti.
I recognize thought is there and I said counting or I said the mantra. My mind has shifted its attention. Let the thought be there. So if I continue counting or saying Om Shanti, that thought will go.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah, that is good. That is good. How are you, sir? There is only one sir, yes.
There is only one, sir. I'm fine, Girish. You said something during the practice I was wondering about. You said that 2 minutes of like counting to 25 forwards or backwards would lead to 6 hours of peace and happiness. Do I have that right?
Yes. Our mind
That's
is
all.
distracted with millions of the thoughts if the mind lives into the foolishness state. So in 2 minutes, you have transcended the foolishness state. You entered into the higher zone, higher consciousness. 2 minutes is sufficient. So we can make fun of ourselves. You know, I counted the breath. Intellectually you can count it. But are you maintaining that awareness? Maintaining that, so when the moment you count the breath in one, you experience the infinite space. You are counting out one, you experience the infinite space. Again you are into space. Your mind changes. It is absorbed, it is settled deeper within. Thoughts may be there, but you are not at all concerned about those thoughts. That is 2 minutes. Otherwise, you might be, how dare this guy says, I learned accounting in my childhood. I can count it easily. Yes, anyone can count it easily. How are you, Meet?
I feel very peaceful, and somehow sensation, comfort, and steadiness helped me to stay.
Yes,
and
yes.
My mind didn't wander.
Yes. So the previous step helps me to live into that state of calmness, and then obviously the peace comes. Beautiful. You did the same wrong thing, and you have to slide your fingers on the laptop to find that close button of the what we see the video.
There she is.
Why did you forget it? Forgetfulness is ignorance. Anyhow, you can communicate, you can talk to us, you have done the practice. You don't even listen to me, unmute it. Don't blame laptop.
Do you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, but I don't get the picture. I don't know why. I didn't do anything since the last time.
It's okay. That is, the computer is to blame. What is your experience?
Yeah, the computer has its own mind.
Yes.
There's nothing I can do.
That makes us crazy.
That's right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Show more info. Yeah, I'm not going to read up on that stuff. Your camera might be blocked.
Okay. Yes, you got it.
There you are.
You just got it and you missed. We saw you. We saw you.
But you don't see my picture.
But now I see your picture. What is your experience? You can tell your experience without a picture.
Okay. All right.
Go ahead.
Do what now? I mean, what do you want me to do?
Your experience.
My experience?
Yes.
Well, I mean, I fell asleep. Thanks goodness. I forgot my trouble and fell asleep. Partly.
This is what happens. Some
So I don't know what to do. I mean, we'll see.
some situation comes.
So I'll be in Baltimore. Maybe I'll take it to Baltimore and see whether somebody can work on it.
You're going to Baltimore to fix the computer. Good. So you see, something happens there. We have to have a patience. Now, in case of the Anne, it is the computer stuff. So during the practice, the mind was engaged in the problem of the computer, and that causes her to sleep. That causes her to. That causes her to sleep. Anyhow, now we are moving into the month of September. Tell Charlie also no need to pay even a single penny. Entire September month is totally free. I want to see whether you become a